All right. Sound check. How's everybody going out there? Trying not to start too late here, but it's been a real quick production day for us. Can everyone hear me out there? Are we alive? I got a couple viewers here. Oh, the Rays suck. Rays don't suck. All right, guys, welcome to the MLR's All-Star Selection Show, Season 5, brought to you by the MLR Media Department, hosted by yours truly, Wallace Grommet. I do media management around here. So we did a small production just to unveil the All-Star Game selection. So I want to make sure I set the expectations correctly. This won't be too much of an analysis kind of show. It's going to be more of just unveiling the selections voted on by you guys, the community. So I'm going to have some comments here or there on different things, but I'm going to let a lot of the analysis go to the media. That'll happen afterwards. Plenty of hot takes for this stuff, who got left off, who didn't deserve it, things like that. So hopefully the other shows, I know Chatter Up will have a panel discussion about it. Milo's show will probably have some. There'll be plenty of articles. So this will be kind of to the point. Production-wise, I did my best. I got the results at the same time you guys did, probably an hour or so afterwards. So the MLR stuff, I think, looks pretty fancy. The minor leagues, not so much. So bear with me on that part, guys. But we're gonna get to it. I'm not gonna hold you guys away from it too much longer. Hold on, I got a producer message. Okay, so we're gonna go into it. I do have a song that's supposed to be hype song in the background, but I didn't get to test audio too much. So if it's too loud or I'm not loud enough, let me know. But all right, we're gonna switch it over here, guys, and here we go. At least I hope so. All right, guys, we're going to start out in the AL just like we do player of the sessions. We're going to start with the GM and coach. Apparently, I'm too loud. Hold on a second. I can fix that. Let me know. I'm open to suggestion as we go, guys. This is going to be a click and go slideshow. All right, so the top vote getter is the general manager in this context. The second vote getter is going to be the coach. So for your AL general manager for Season 5, we're going to have from the Houston Colt 45s, Harry Paratestes will be your leading vote getter there. Harry, of course, GM in one of the better teams in the league right now in Houston, so well-deserved Harry. And helping him coach from the Minnesota Twins, can you guess which one it's going to be? Art Vandelay, your second vote getter there, so he'll be helping out Harry. For the All-Star game, they'll be coaching it up. Starting lineups are already in there, but they'll be trying to get everyone in as the game goes. So good job to that coaching duo, Harry and Art. You guys are out there. We're going to go ahead and move right along to your AL All-Star starters. The starters here, 14 positions, 9 regular field positions, DH, and 5 pitchers. So we're going to go through them all. Starting your AL catcher, your Season 5 leading vote getter from the Texas Rangers. You're going to have Joe Random there. Got a lot of these little stats in here. I'll try and hit the ones that are, important. But you guys can see 30 total bases, 171 DPA, 1.54 WAR, double-digit hits and RBIs. Joe definitely deserved to be in there, in my opinion. So good job to Joe. We're going to move along the infield to first base for the AL. From the Baltimore Orioles, everyone's favorite Panda, Junie Panda getting the nod here. Pretty good on the vote getting there. Huge slashes, as you can see. Big WAR, low DPA. Junie, one of the top scouters out there. So representing the Orioles. Good job, Junie. Going around the diamond to second base in the AL. From the Cleveland Indians, Mr. Speedy Claxton, who has been phenomenal for the Tribe this year as their season's kind of gone up and down, but great slashes as well. 20 total bags there, double-digit hits. Speedy, good job on your selection there, my friend. And finishing out the bag defenders at third base from your Oakland Athletics, and I guess this means that the project the project has worked, or it's completed, whatever you want to say. But we have Cali coming in for third base for the Oakland A's. Of course, a lot of people know Cali did a lot of his work on the Angels earlier this year. So good job to Cali, slashing in the 400s. Good second half of the season. Good job to the A's and Cali. As shortstop, your defensive guy for the AL this year, the first team to double up with the Texas Rangers. And man, this dude is hard to put on a banner to fit on a logo. But it is moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, coming home with the All-Star selection for shortstop. Over 500s on his slashes there. 20 total bases, 7 hits, 5 RPIs. Really low DPA, 175.6. So the Rangers in moderate to severe plaque psoriasis getting the first double showing here. Look at that, could barely fit him on the logo there. Let's move to the outfield. Left field for the AL. Boston Red Sox first selection, and I hope I'm saying it correctly, but Halak Oasis coming in. This guy is a workhorse. I believe he's leading the league in PAs and ABs. Over 30 total bases, 13 hits, which is top 4 or 5. Just having an offensive juggernaut kind of year. So shout out to the Miracles for Oasis there. Moving on to center field in the AL from the Kansas City Royals, we have Rob Patterson, who with a smaller amount of volume but incredible 600 slashes for average and on base percentage, absolutely killer DPA, 163, high WAR into the 700s. Patterson doing a great job for Kansas City in the AL Central there. And then rounding out our outfield, in right field for the AL will be another Colt 45, Rex Kidobi, 400 slashes, gotten a lot of work with 29 PAs, 25 total bases, double-digit hits, having a really good year for one of the better teams. And we move on to the designated hitter position. Basically, this was next best position player by a vote, I believe. So for the AL, we have from the Toronto Blue Jays, and it was a close vote, but Robbie Lapis, something like that. I hope I didn't butcher it, Robbie. Robbie having a good year though from Toronto. Again, a little bit smaller on the volume, but 600 on base percentage, double digit hits, over 800 in WAR, and under 190 DPA. Robbie's in pretty big for the Blue Jays. So good job to all the field players and hitters. We move on to the pitchers for the AL. Pitcher number 1 is the top vote getter. He will be the starting pitcher for the team. So pitcher number 1, a little bit more weight than the other pitchers. So your AL Season 5 All-Star Game starter is also from the Toronto Blue Jays. And a lot of chat had already guessed it, Ryan Gastings. This man having a phenomenal year. 27 inning pitches. He's a workhorse, 4-0 on the year. Second highest pitcher WAR at 2.410. The slashes for the pitchers are ERA, WHIP, and opponent batting average for those who are looking at it. So close to the 1 on the WHIP, but Ryan will be your AL starter. Good job to Ryan, and we have 2 Blue Jays in it now. Moving on to pitcher number 2, your second vote getter from the Twins. It is going to be Salazar Santiago, who has the real nice ERA, also opponent batting average under 200. 17 innings pitched, a little on the lighter side, but he clearly convinced everyone. 1.663 pitcher WAR. He's got a really high difference per batter faced at 284. So good job, Salazar, getting the nod from the Twins there. Pitcher number 3, we have another Colt 45. Counting the manager, this is 3 of them now. So you have Willoughby Hoos coming in as pitcher number 3. Great triple slash there. Opponent's batting average at 139, 24 innings pitched, so he's workhorse. A league-tied lead of 5 wins. Also over 2 on his pitcher WAR. So Hoos having a good season, coming in at pitcher number 3. Pitcher number 4 for your AL is going to be another Boston Red Sox. and that is no Pine Tar. Coming in as a second Red Sox selected pitcher, number 4. A lot of innings logged at 24, undefeated 3-0. Got close to the 1 on the whip there, so another hashtag miracle shout out there, but good job to that's no Pine Tar coming in 4th. And our last starter position that counts in, pitcher number 5, before we get to the reserves. The last spot will go to Los Angeles, and that's going to be to Einhorn. And Einhorn here, of course, a lot of us know, did a lot of work in the NL, especially with the Cubs, but came over in a big blockbuster trade to the Angels. Only pitcher on this cast to have a save. He's got 1 save there with the 2-2 record. Still has a great WAR at 1.665. So good job to Einhorn, even switching leagues, staying on the All-Star ballot. So here you have it right here. AL All-Stars, these are your starters. Take a good look at it. Let it sink in. And we're moving on. We're going to move to the reserves. Each league had 3 reserves before the final vote. That'll happen probably very shortly after the show. So we're going to go through all 3 of these reserves. These are going to be your next highest vote getters at any position. It doesn't matter. So first one up, we're going to have another Colt 45. Street Lamp Lamoose, second baseman, first baseman, been having a good year. A lot of plate appearances, 28, almost 30 total bases, but he has 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. So a little bit more power than we've been seeing. 8.5 point WAR there as well. So the Colts getting another player in via reserve, and we'll go into the second reserve here. And we're going to have from the Detroit Tigers, Scott Medge. Good vote getter here. Had a great season so far. Good workload at 23 PAs, over 20 total bases. Also another big home run guy with 4 of his 6 hits have been dingers, so that should tell you all you need to know. And he's still under the 200 for the DPA. So great season for Medge so far, trying to keep the Tigers in it in the Central. And our very last AL All-Star reserve, so I guess sort of Mr. Irrelevant for now until the final vote comes through, at least for the AL, is going to come from Minnesota. The Twins are going to have Wee Laddie Donkus rounded out here. 3-position guy, right field, first, and center. Some good slashes in the 300s, but over 30 plate appearances, over 30 total bases, big home run guy with 4, and also double-digit hits and RBIs and almost a 1.0 WAR. Wee Laddie Donkus has had himself a really good season, so well-deserved there. And those will be your final 3 reserve guys for the AL, guys. I'd ask if there's any questions, but this was already voted for, so we're moving right on. Into the NL, which we all know is the only league that matters. No bias here from this host. We'll start with the general manager and the coach, just like we did. So your general manager for your NL Season 5 All-Star team is going to be probably small surprise from anyone, but Dylan Green, general manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Of course, is running the team with the best record. Recently had the longest winning streak in MLR history. So Dylan, probably well-deserved there. Good job, my friend. And then your second place vote getter, who's going to be helping Dylan out here in the NL side from the Arizona Diamondbacks, is going to be Ray Revenkreis, recently taking over a good Arizona Diamondback squad, who's going to be helping him out. So Ray, short term, he's gonna take that second slot there, and he's gonna go ahead and coach with Dylan in the All-Star game. Ray, congratulations and good luck on your continued GM-ship of Arizona there. So with that, we're gonna move in to the starters. Same as the AL, we got all 17 positions up here. We're gonna start in the infield, and we're gonna go with catcher. So your catcher for Season 5 in the NL belongs to the Chicago Cubs, and it's going to be Doc Goose, who has really good slash numbers, really good work, very above average in almost everything they're doing, double-digit hits, 9 RBIs, the .94 WAR as well. One of the better names in the MLR, in my opinion, as well. So Doc Goose takes down the catcher position for the NL. We move over to a bag, our first bag at first base for the Atlanta Braves. And this was a close vote, but Dallas Houston is going to go ahead and get the start. Big power hitter. This is your MLR home run leader, an RBI leader, I believe, as well. 7 homers, 15 RBIs, great slashes as well. The 1.344 WAR. Houston has really been one of the if not the offensive juggernaut for the Braves this year. So well done, Dallas, and locking that down. Moving across the diamond or around the diamond to second base, we're going to have another Pirate here to join Dylan. This is going to be Revan Skywalker of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Great 400 slashes, over 30 PAs, over 20 total bases. He's got a couple of stolen bases, 13 hits. It's the top 4 or 5 in the hits in the league, under a 210 DPA as well. So he's doing really well. Good job. Good job, Skywalker. Anyone with the Skywalker name also has my vote for one of the better names in the MLR. Okay, our last corner infielder at third base is going to go to the Montreal Expos, and this is going to be Emerson Austin. A lot of people, I think, were probably expecting this. He's got high 4, mid 400 slashes and better. Good volume, 9 hits, 6 RBIs, under a 210 DPA as well. So good hit getter when they need it. Emerson, good job on taking this one down and at least. And now our last infielder that we're going to hit is going to be a shortstop. And it's going to be a shortstop out of the Philadelphia Phillies. And here's where we know it's going to be rigged, or it's going to start being rigged. But Jeff Dinger Hitter is going to be our National League shortstop. Hard to argue with his slashes here as well. 28 plate appearances, so he's getting the work in. 30 total bases, 4 home runs, 12 hits, over a 1.1 WAR. So rigged by Woj, but it is what it is. Good job, Jeff, getting shortstop this year. Moving out to the left field is going to be Cincinnati Reds. If it wasn't rigged before, it's certainly rigged now. Zelk Antilles. All jokes aside for OOTC rigging, Zelk, another great slash line. Huge amount of PAs, huge amount of total bases, huge amount of hits. I believe he is your MLR hit leader, double-digit RBIs. So not too bad for a clubhouse that is kind of winging it and apparently not scouting. So good job, Zelk, on your selection. Moving over into the center field position, we have someone to join Ray from the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is going to be James Jamison, the 69th. Contrary to OOTC leaks earlier showing Jamison getting 1 vote, he does take it down for center field in the NL. Over 30 plate appearances, double-digit hits, 8 RBIs, 22 total bags. So Jamison, well done out there in center for Arizona. And then we're going to round out our NL outfield here with right field from the St. Louis Cardinals, who's had a good season. It's going to be Grim Carp. Grim with some great slashes there. He's a 500 OBP guy, 34 plate appearances, 30 total bases, 13 hits, over 1 point on the WAR, and only a 204 DPA. Carp, great season for the Cardinals, keeping them going in the NL Central. So that's going to round out our outfield there. Our last hitter-ish non-position player is going to be DH, and this DH comes with a big asterisk. There's actually a 3-way tie for the DH position, but the way the votes have fallen is the 2 players who don't get it are still reserve players. So all 3 players have made the All-Star game. It's just a matter of seeing who's gotten the DH and who's got the reserves. So even though I'm going to announce this person as the DH because my template couldn't be changed, they're technically going to be on the final vote. So anyways, moving on, our first 3-way tie guy from the Milwaukee Brewers is going to be Ping Pong. I have his asterisk there, but Ping Pong has got some 400 slashes, over 1 on his OPS. A little light on volume at 17 plate appearances, but he's made them count. 18 total bases, 3 home runs from his 7 hits, and almost a 3/4 WAR there. So 186 DPA doesn't hurt either. So Ping Pong could be your DH there, but he's definitely made the All-Star game regardless as a reserve. So we'll move on to pitchers now. We'll get the other 2 DH guys in the reserve section. Same as the AL, pitcher number 1 is your top vote getter. There will be the NL All-Star Season 5 starter for the All-Star game. So without further ado, Your NL starter is, of course, from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Matt Hamanemes, who's had a great year. Definitely rigged for sure now, but Matt has been a workhorse for 29 innings plus, almost 30 innings. He's your league leader in that, in wins at 5 and pitcher WAR at 2.673. He's got the .58 whip. Just having a great year, and of course he had the perfect game recently as well. So Matt is going to be your starter for that game. Your runner-up in that position, pitcher number 2, who will be in the game from the Colorado Rockies. It's Miller time, everybody, so make sure you pop them open. But we got the man, the myth, the legend, Danger Zone, who's come in here with an amazing triple slash, 1.66 ERA, 1.06 whip, opponent batting average only 200. He's 4-1 on the year, 21, almost 22 innings pitched. Dan's had a great year for the Rockies, who are also having a great year. So, Danger Zone, well done on your second place there. Third place pitcher number 3 for this game for the NL. It's going to be from the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's already won player of the session twice this year, but it's going to be Bobo Bones. The sub-1 whip, the sub-200 opponent batting average. He's also had almost 25 innings pitched, 2-1 and over a 2 on the pitcher WAR. That was good for third or fourth place, if I recall correctly. So top three very strong for the NL. Going into pitcher number 4, and our number 4 pitcher is going to be a Milwaukee Brewer here, and it's going to be Ed Turner. Ed Turner, who's got under 2 on the ERA, 1.29 on his whip, 1-1 on the season, over 1 for his pitching WAR. A little light on the volume with 17, but obviously it was impressive enough to get the votes. So Ed Turner, congratulations on that selection, coming into 4th place. So our last NL starter, the last pitcher in the group that'll be on our little graphic here, is going to come from the NL East. Going to be from the Miami Marlins. A lot of people are already kind of speculating, but it's going to be Fish Fingers. Fish Fingers right on a 1 for the whip, under 2 for the opponent batting average. He's got over 20 innings pitched, 3-0 on the season, 1.73 pitcher WAR, and a high DPF as well. So Fish Fingers rounding out our last selection there for the NL. And there's the screen, folks, your NL All-Star starters for Season 5 and all the pitchers as well. So get a good look at it. Soak it in here before we move on, because it goes a little downhill from here graphic-wise. Actually, that's going to be after the reserves. So let's take care of the reserves first. I have the 2 asterisks there that I spoke about earlier. The next 2 players can also still win NL starter at DH. So they are in the All-Star game because of the votes regardless, but they're not necessarily reserves. So let's hit the first one that's going to be competing with ping pong here. From the Cincinnati Reds, it's going to be a triple threat. LaPrence Fry, third base, shortstop, center field for the Reds. Another non-scouting call out for Zelk making it earlier, but almost 400 slashes for Fry, almost 30 plate appearances, over 20 total bases, double digits for hits and RBIs. So having a really good season. But again, Fry can win DH. It'll depend on how you guys vote for the final vote there. And the third person joining them in that final vote is going to be also from the Brewers. So we have 2 Brewers that can potentially win DH, but this one's going to be Guido Goriano, which I know I'm saying wrong. I'm sorry, Guido. I've had you on Chatter Up before. The center fielder, right fielder from the Brewers, slashing in the 300s, a little bit lower on the volume, but still making good use of it when he's there. 15 total bases, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and a real good DPA as well. So those 3 players, Guido, Fry, and Ping Pong, will all be on the final vote for DH, guys. You guys will make the final decision. The other 2 will be reserves. Our last guy, Mr. Irrelevant for the NL, the last reserve, the only true reserve we know of so far. Hold on a second. I'm going to fix this auto mod situation. Apparently Guido's name is a sin, so don't say it. Anyways, the last reserve we're going to have here for us, let me tab back to the active window, and this was a close vote for the Braves here, and Dick Pole coming in for catcher, but Dick Pole absolutely deserving it to come out here with almost 400 slashes, almost 30 PAs, almost 30 total bases, 5 home runs, and he had 11 hits and RBIs total. So that's going to be great on him. 801 WAR, 226 DPA. So Atlanta Braves and Dick Pole bringing down the last shot. So there's going to be at least some of your reservists. Like I said, it's all asterisk for the DH vote. So that's kind of how that goes. So for the teams that did not have a representative voted in the old-fashioned way, we have something called team reps. So team reps are going to be the highest vote getter of a member team that didn't get selected, if that makes sense. And that way everyone has a representative. So these are going to be your teams that kind of fall into that boat here. And we're really quickly just going to hit each one. So the representative for the Chicago White Sox is going to be right field center fielder Katya Wolf. For the New York Mets, you're going to have shortstop third baseman rookie sensation Hero Bryan. For the New York Yankees, you're going to have second base shortstop Laser Gunn. And for those asking about for the final vote, this is taking into consideration final votes already. So it is confirmed. So we'll move over to the dad gang. We're going to have Cameron, who also plays second base shortstop. Seattle Mariners going to be Napoleon short sleeve, former UCLA legend. San Francisco Giants is going to have utility man Lightning Balls. And Tampa Bay Rays is going to have veteran Ross Ewich playing first base left field as well. So there's going to be your reps that are going to finish out the All-Star game before the final votes. And the final vote guys will be reservists as well. So we're going to move on to the minor league guys. If he's a veteran, or if he's a rookie, he's a veteran rookie. Moving on. So we don't have all the same graphics as we did for the major leagues here. So that was a time crunch. So we're going to get this one. It's going to be even more text revealing than the previous section where we had the cool team banners and whatnot. So again, more of a reveal here, and we can have analysis later. But we're going to start out on the Pacific League. We're going to do the same as we did in the big leagues with the GM and the coach. So your top vote getter for general manager on the Pacific side of things is going to be Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, Sarah Curving-Sunworth, who will be coaching the PCL team. And the second vote getter that'll be helping out on that side will be some Staten Island Pizza Rats. It'll be all of our friends, Nori Aru. Hello, Nori, if you're out there. Hopefully you'll get to see it at some point. Soon. So minor leagues were voted on a little bit differently. It wasn't by position. It was by team rep. So basically everyone on your team was up to be voted for. And then if you were the leading vote getter, you get a represent. The only difference is with the pitchers. The pitchers were still top 5 votes. So we're just going to go across the board on the leading vote getters per team, starting with the Chicago Red Line. We're going to have Miroslav, Nori's partner on that podcast. He's going to be our first guy here. I'm not going to get too much into the stats, guys, so I'll let you check out the slashes. From Guantanamo Bangkoks, we have the man himself, Demetrius Uga, representing them. Sarah's team, the GT Yellow Jackets, will have Johnny Two Fingers representing them. In the game, Springfield Isotopes are going to have Dirk Diglett, who's got 600 slashes going on. Curb and Gemini, one of my favorite team names, is going to be represented by Brian Zucchini. And the Panama Prowling say that 3 times fast. Panama Prowling Pigeons are going to be represented by Junie Panda, who's the first person to be selected in both the big leagues and the minor leagues. So Junie Panda getting the call there. Moving down a row to the Rocket City Trash Pandas, we're going to have Joe Nastasi having a good year down there. The coach representative team, Staten Island, is going to have Tommy Tight Pants. Get some looser pants, Tommy. I think they'll help you out. Tri-State Area Platypi are going to be represented by Nicholas Foss. Watch out for the eggs. Washington Nationals will be represented by one of the best names in the league, Jabreka Jabayat, having a great season down there. The Waukesha White Claws will have Guido again. Don't type Guido's name into the chat. Apparently you'll get banned. Having a monster year, 40 total bases in the minor leagues. And then the Yum 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 Yums will be represented by Derek Tombines. So Derek Tombines getting the nod there. So there you have your PCL, your team highest vote getters. Those will be your core team moving into the minor league all-star game. We're going to move on and hit the pitchers here as well. The pitchers are going to work the same way as they did for the major leagues. We're going to have 5 pitchers. The first one is the top vote getter. They'll be the starter for the game. So your PCL Season 5 major league pitcher this year is going to be Staten Island Pizza Rat Donnie Draper. Draper with a sub-1 on the whip there, 3-1 with 21 innings pitched. Pretty high DBF as well. So Donnie will get the start there. Your second pitcher is going to be from the Yum Yums, Jackson Sanchez. Also with a little bit lighter of overall work, but sub-1 on the whip. He's also got a save, one of the few pitchers that got saves on these lists, so I'd like to point those out. Pitcher number 3 is also going to be from the Yums. It says teammate Big Nutty. Big Nutty, you can see he's got a few more innings under his belt, a few more decisions, just as good as slashes, so they've been a great 1-2 punch for the Yums. They're going to take pitcher 2 and 3 here. Your fourth pitcher via votes is going to be red line pitcher Leonard Boyfriend. Leonard Boyfriend, only 9 innings of work under his name, but it was enough to impress everyone. 0 earned runs on those 9.1 innings so far. 310.88 delta per batter faced. Absolutely incredible. So a little bit lower sample size, but clearly enough to impress. Pitcher 5 is kind of in a similar boat. Washington's Angel Leon, the journeyman. Even less innings at 6.2, but had the slashes, had the stats, maybe had some of the name recognition. He's going to be pitcher number 5 for us. So there are your PCL All-Star pitchers. Take a good look at them. We're going to be moving on to the IL, and we're going to be doing so right now. So International League All-Stars, same song and dance. We're going to have general managers and coaches here. Your general manager is your top vote getter, and that general manager is going to be Lemon Lake's Isaac Snowbender. I think that completes the full OOTC rigged circle. I think everyone's in here, maybe not Hank. Either way, Isaac will be general managing the game, and he will be assisted by the second leading vote getter and coach. That's going to be the Millville Miracles, Cockle. So Cockle will be assisting Isaac in that game, side by side in the IL side of the All-Star game. So congrats to Cockle as well. Hopefully you're out there listening somewhere. And we'll move on. We're going to move on to the team selections here. Same as the first one. It's just going to be by the team, the highest vote getter on each one. And we'll start with the Dad Gang. So Dad Gang's representative here is going to be All Starlin. A lot of 3s in his slash, but well-deserved for All-Star. The Juniper Cannons will be represented by Lightning Balls. So good job on Lightning Balls. 500 slashes. Sioux City Mountain Kitties are going to have Otis Nixon Sr. Got some great slashes there. Tacoma Submariners will be Elena McLean. 400 slashes, man, 30 total bases. Isaac Snowbender's team, the Lemon Lake Lemons, will be represented by Trader Ben Bramley, who only has good stats on lemons and not Millville, so only half shout out to Ben. Speaking of Millville, they'll be represented by Jeffrey Salmon, who's having an absolutely intense offensive year down there. Shout out to the Miracles. Rochester Knoll will be represented by one of the better names in the MLR, Clint Tack Pay the Fucking Tax. 25 total bases, big war down there. He's been good for the Knoll. Moving to the Philadelphia Bees, their representative will be Jeter Okola. 18 total bases, 3 home runs, pretty good for the Bees. And the Portland Roses will be represented by Andrew Peters. Got a bunch of 400 slashes there as well. Sarasota Savages will be represented by Ross Ewage. So he's a team rep, but also has made it down here in the minor leagues. So congrats, Ross. Taipei Tree Vipers will have Jay Money representing them. And I don't even know how to say the last team name. Tros Riveres Igos will be represented by Milo Grams. Of course, Milo, big contributor in the media scene as well. So here are your International League All-Star selections per team. Get a good look at them. all your highest vote getters here. And then we're going to move on to the pitchers. Hopefully, if it works, there it goes. So same here, same song and dance. 5 pitchers, guys. Your top one is going to be the starter for the game, highest vote getter, and for the International League in Season 5 this year is Philadelphia Bees' Dottie Hooligan. Hooligan with some good work with 26 innings down there, 3-1, almost the 1 on the whip, 1.39 ERA. So Dottie will be your IL minor league game starter. Moving on to the second pitcher, just missing the cut here, but still high vote getter is going to be Tacoma's Duke Marriott. Duke with some great slashes there. You guys can see him for yourself. Again, it's ERA, whip, and then opponent batting average. 21 innings pitched with the 2-1. Also has one of the few saves that have made the All-Star game. So good job there, Duke. He just threw a new hitter in the last section, actually. Your third pitcher for the Mountain Kitties is going to be Mr. Miyagi. Wax on and wax off to a .56 whip. Opponent's only hitting 119 on him as well. 3-0 on the year. Mr. Miyagi doing work down there. Good job on your selection. Pitcher number 4 from the Lemons will be working with Isaac is going to be Dylan Green. Dylan, of course, had made it as the NL general manager for the Season 5, so he's basically been selected on both sides as well here. Got the very nice ERA with the 8.2 innings pitched. And pitcher number 5 to round it out, the very last selection, also from Lemon Lakes, is going to be Laser Gun. Laser Gun, also smaller on the sample size, but still has an amazing slash, enough to impress the voters. Also one of the few pitchers that has a save here, giving us 3 or so total in the minor leagues. So there are your International League All-Star pitchers. Take a good look at them. Pretty good group here. 2 Lemons, though, and no Wally. We move on. All-Star game locations. This is our last slide, guys. Just going to show us where the games are actually going to be played. For the Major League Redditball side of it, the big leagues, they will be playing in Montreal's park, which, God forgive me trying to say this, but Parc du Brian David Gilbert a Stadi Saputo is where that All-Star game will be played. I didn't check any park factors, so it's Montreal, so hopefully there's some poutine there or something for everyone to eat. And then over in the minor leagues, the MLR, that game is going to be played at everyone's favorite restaurant down in Georgia, but the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets will be playing in the Waffle House for that game. So Waffle House for the minor leagues, Montreal Stadium for the big leagues. That's where everyone's going to be playing. So that's going to be the bulk of the show for what we have, guys. There'll be a final vote that'll be posted pretty soon after this stream/podcast. We still are deciding umpires, obviously the DH for the NL, and of course any of the finalists that are going to be reserve players as well. So there's still some voting to be done, but we want to at least do something media-wise to kind of have a showing of who's made it so far. So hopefully you guys enjoyed what we had to deliver you. I wish I would have had more time to do the minor league graphics like the major league ones, but we were able to kind of use those from the draft. So couldn't beat the time crunch on that for you, but hopefully it was still a decent show. All-Star game selections always hotbed for hot takes. So out there in the media, if you guys have the articles, start letting them fly. I know a lot of the podcasts will be talking about it too. So I'm going to try and put this VOD on right away for people who want to check it out. I'm sure the Twitch VOD will automatically be saved, and I'll be getting the YouTube link up a little bit later. And, of course, we'll paste it with a lot of the document stuff too, so you guys can see it just in a list form and not on a podcast form. So thanks to everyone for joining up. Kept it under 45 minutes. That was my goal. I know it's Saturday night and everyone's trying to live their life, but I appreciate you guys coming by. Feedbacks and suggestions you can always leave in the MLR media server if you need to, or ping Wally directly. But I'm going to go ahead and sign out here, guys. Thanks everyone who showed up to show up. Enjoy the night. This is the media department out.